Cancel my wedding hair appointment. Sure thing. So I work at a day spa with a full hair salon, and we just opened back up for services due to shutdowns at the beginning of this month. We have strict capacity limits mandated by the government that include not allowing anyone in who doesn't have an appointment. We are currently slammed. Each day we've been booked solid in hair, between 3 hairstylists, is booked solid until late August, and that's with them opening up for extra days. If we get a cancellation, it fills up same day, sometimes within an hour. So a woman had booked an appointment to get her hair done up for her wedding for this past Saturday, and had also booked her sister in to get her hair done as well. She was lucky to get a spot as it is, but there had been a cancellation. She called this past Tuesday, and the conversation is as follows. Me, hi, thanks for calling X Spa. How may I help you? Client, hi, yes, I have an appointment for my sister, and I to get our hair done for my wedding this Saturday. Yes, I see that here. Client, okay, I need to cancel my sister's hair. Well, within our 48 hours notice policy, so whatever. But instead she and a friend are going to come in at the same time to take pictures of me getting ready. Mio, I'm sorry, but unfortunately we are under strict capacity limits, so anyone who isn't booked for an appointment isn't permitted to come in. Is it as if you were keeping your sister's appointment, which was booked with the same stylist after the bride? You would have to exit the building before she can come in for her appointment. Client, are you serious? That's ridiculous. Cancel my appointment as well. Me, I'm so sore. Click. She hung up on me. So I canceled the appointment with lots of notes and made sure the rest of the desk staff as well as the owners and the stylist were aware of the situation. I'll admit we all had a bit of a chuckle at her tantrum, because we don't think she realized how hard it would be to get an appointment for a Saturday at this late notice. Not to mention when every other salon is under the same rules as us. We thought that was that. The appointment booked up the same day. Fast forward to Thursday and I get a call. Client, I do have any appointments this Saturday for a bridal updo. Me, I'm so sorry. We are booked solid for Saturday. Client sigh. Okay, thank you. As I hung up, I looked at the caller display. It was the client who canceled calling from her sister's phone. I confirmed the name and phone number in our booking system, exact same one. I was losing my mind. It seems like they did indeed try to book somewhere else and had no luck, so tried calling us back. Congratulations, you played yourself because you threw an adult temper tantrum the week of your wedding. Okay, so I remembered she had messaged us over Facebook to ask for a quote for her hair originally, and I decided to see if she had posted pictures to see if she had gotten her hair done. No pictures, but I found a rant post about her having to cancel her hair appointment because we doubled the price out of nowhere, and of course don't allow any pictures. Regarding the price, we gave her a quote for a partial updo, let's say $70, because that was what she described originally and didn't say it was for her wedding. When I spoke to her over the phone and realized it was for a wedding, I told her that it could go up to $83 depending on what needed to be done. As per the stylist, this covers us if they happen to bring in hair pieces, extensions, flowers, etc. Plus, she didn't book a trial, so we give more time for her to talk with her stylist about what she wants. It was literally $13 more potentially, definitely not double. Also, I'm sorry we can't have you bring in extra people. Just to take pictures apparently equals no pictures allowed at all.
Grounded because of my grades. No problem. When I was in 8th grade, my dad got my midterm report that said I had an F in math class. It told me I was grounded until the end of the month. So no phone, no TV, no computer. That's right. Until the end of the month. Exactly. Okay. The next day, my dad found me on the computer playing games. What the hell are you doing? Didn't I say you were grounded? I smiled and nodded. Yeah, until the end of the month. End of the month was yesterday. Today's the 1st. Dad called me a smart ass and threatened to ground me longer. In the end, I spent a week reading books and listening to music, and my punishment was forgotten about. Thank you for the awards, kind strangers. Too. This happened in the early 2000s. I'm no longer in the 8th grade. My comprehension of algebra might be, but I, myself, am not. Edit 3. I actually did try in my class. I did every assignment and asked for help. Didn't make a difference. I ended up being put into a lower level math class.
Manager wanted everything I do during a workday written down. Request granted. Long time like a first time poster. English not my native language, mobile blah blah. Some context. Working in an outsourcing company. Before I joined job, there were two people doing my job both left before I joined. I was alone doing the job of two people. Weekly reports being sent to client head, and client would visit job site once a year. So here goes. As a means of control and reporting their general mailbox to where client should send all requests that needed to be addressed. Had to deal with 30 to 40 different people from the client side plus client head. They didn't give a shit about said mailbox, would always email my inbox ignoring said general one almost always. As I was alone doing the work of two people, I was almost always behind on the workload, and would get the idiots on the other side constantly complaining to the client head, who in turn would complain to my managers. How is it possible that op can't deal with 7 or 8 daily emails and be behind on his work? Weekly reports stated I was only getting 7 to 8 emails from the client a day, completely ignoring the fucking phone, personal inbox, Skype chat, which were the ways people were contacting me every day. So client head complains to managers and escalates me for being a lazy idiot that can't even handle a handful of emails a day. Managers set up meeting to grill me. But you always look so busy, and you're only getting a handful of emails a day and constantly behind on your work. How is this possible? Client isn't happy, and you either improve dramatically or client wants us to replace you. I explained that general mailbox wasn't the only thing I did, mentioning all other means through which client idiots were requesting things. So solution to show client head what was being done. I was told I needed to register on an Excel sheet everything I did during the day. I asked for clarification. You mean emails and calls, right? No, everything. I'd email the Excel at the end of workday. So here goes my malicious compliance. I did exactly what I was told, wrote down everything I did during the workday, even including bathroom, smoke and coffee breaks. Client writes on Skype. I write down timestamp when client asks for something and timestamp of each and every reply. All adding to an Excel at around 500 lines every day, with my personal favorite of adding a line at the end. Time wasted to fill in sheet. 1 hour. One manager laughs when he sees my full compliance. Other one not so much, but knows can't do shit cause I did what I was told. A few months later, when client head visits, tells me he fucking loved it. Was told to stop doing it on the 3rd day. They were now aware of what I did during the day.
Police officer attempted to intimidate my patient, loses fight to physics. I'm a paramedic. A few months ago, we're coming back from a routine patient transfer, when at an intersection about 4 blocks from the base, I notice a woman sitting on the side of the road with her arms wrapped around herself and her head down. I nudge my partner who's driving, and we flip on the lights, and I see her head come up real fast, and she looks terrified. I get out and she relaxes when she sees the ambulance. After I approach, I notice bruising on her wrists and other similar signs of domestic abuse. She seems hesitant to get up off the curb and into the ambulance, so I decided that I would at least pull the cot out of the back and give her something a little more comfortable than concrete to sit on. Now a few important details. All the cots in my service are striker part cots. You've almost certainly seen these before. They're bright yellow with black handles and side panels. These cots have a motor and battery built in to allow us to raise and lower the cot at the touch of a button, instead of throwing out our backs having to physically lift the cot up after loading someone. They're usually paired with an automatic loading system built into the ambulance that lifts the cot up to the right height to be pushed inside and also secures the cot when loaded. There's a little red tab at the end of the track, just inside the doors, that you press down to free the cot and allow it to slide out. When you press this tab, it simply releases the cot and the loading carriage it's connected to, and it's up to you to keep it under control until it reaches the unload position and locks into place again. This can be problematic because these cots weigh about 125 pounds, about 55 kilograms. As soon as I hit the release tab for the cot, I hear lights and sirens behind me. It's a city police car. which is weird because we had not yet requested police, and we were outside the city in the sheriff's department jurisdiction. We merely informed dispatch that we were stopping to check on a woman at such and such intersection. The woman says something along the lines of, "Oh God, he's here," and moves faster than me seeing free food being distributed at base. She dashes past me and pretty much hurls herself into the ambulance, sitting on the bench seat. The cop is approaching and he's pissed. I put two and two together and slam the ambulance doors shut. Let's call this officer Police Officer Steve, or POS for short. A POS. Is that B? Is she in there? A me who? A POS, you know damn well who I am talking about. A me, you mean my patient. I'm afraid I haven't gotten a name yet. A POS, open those doors. I need to talk to her. A me, you're not using my rig as an interview room. You can talk to her at the hospital. We go back and forth like this for a few minutes. My partner at some point came back to see what the holdup was, but overheard my stonewalling and went back to the cab to call our chief. I continue my routine of deny and delay until a pair of deputies, likely specifically requested for this by the chief, arrive. Oh good, now I have witnesses. We had stopped on an upwards incline. I had hit the release tab on the cot, and it wanted to slide back. I had to close the doors so swiftly, I didn't bother pushing the cot back against the stops and locking it in place. Emboldened by the presence of the deputies, he gets in my face. Get out of my way or I'm gonna have to charge with obstruction. Okay, I step out of his way, and he opens the double doors. Between the cot, the monitor, and the junk bag, I'd say there was probably close to 160 pounds contained by those doors, all of which comes barreling out and hits POS square in the chest. He goes backwards and falls on his ass. One of the deputies laughs aloud. The other walks up and kneels down beside the guy. He says, "Your shift captain is going to be here in 5. I wouldn't be here then if I were you." He always gathers himself up and scowls at me, then stomps off. There's a limited amount that I can say about the aftermath as the trial is not settled yet, but we all know how well charges stick to cops. The woman is now living elsewhere. The cop is still a cop, and I have been getting pulled over at least twice a week ever since then. But the video footage of him getting body checked by that cot remains one of the best things I have seen. Edit for clarification. Yes, the woman was married to POS. And yes, he is allegedly responsible for the abuse.
Check out my other great videos.